These are the Willises. Nicole is an up-and-coming poet in the Bay Area, and Jarick is a veganism enthusiast. What I like about the Willises is that they always strive to be a better version of themselves. I think when you talk to them about their journey with veganism, they're very enthusiastic and very informed about it, but they're not imposing. I think that they understand that it takes a healthy lifestyle to reach a certain level intellectually and spiritually, obviously physically, and so they inform themselves and arm themselves with that information, and they're open and ready to share that with their community at large.
We actually met in San Diego. I was going out to a lounge, and I got stood up by one of my buddies. And on the way out the lounge, I noticed Nicole. And my other buddy that I was with, I told him, I need to talk to that girl right there. I need to talk to her before we leave. And we talked.
Well, before that, he said that he seen me. I didn't notice him at first, but he noticed me. And yeah, we went out. Me and my girls, I was out with all my sisters and my cousins and stuff. And we went out to the dance floor. And shortly after, he met me on the dance floor, asking to dance with me. And I let him dance with me a little bit. He asked for my number, and I told him. I tried to ditch him. I told him if we see each other at the end of the night, then I give him my number. And he waited for me at the door, didn't she? Waited for me at the door. So when we caught eyes, I decided to give him my number.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And that's kind of how we met.
Yeah, we talked about a week or so, went on our first date, and been rocking ever since. I think, a few years back, I really couldn't figure out why not to marry her. I think that was more of the question. I couldn't come up with anything. And so I was no longer just concerned with Jarick. Everything became a we thing, and it just felt right.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't know when I went to marry Jay. I think I was in love when I first met this person. I have, my intuition is out of control. And when we met, everything in me was a green light. Everything was go. Everything was just lined up like it was calculated, like our meat was calculated. So I knew from then it was a fairy tale. I wanted to marry him right away. If you asked me, I would have said yes anytime.
Well, we have a jar method. When either one of us is upset, we write it down and we put it in the jar. So it lets the other person know, there's conflict, there's something wrong, and we can come back and we can address it later.
Right, because sometimes it's difficult. Well, when we first got together, it was difficult for us to communicate. We didn't speak the same language. It was similar language, but we didn't speak the same language. So a lot of the times we were having conflict because we couldn't understand each other. So then I came up with the jar idea, and so whenever there was a problem, if he had an issue or if I had an issue and we didn't want to talk about it right away, we would write a note, put it in this jar. That way we both would, I would know or he would know that one of us had an issue, and then I could reflect on what was going on, that what I did, trace my steps back, or he could trace his steps back, and then we can kind of have an idea of what the other person is going, what's going on with the other person. And I always try to think about what is it that I want to say, just being respectful, I guess, of each other's your feelings and stuff like that. And I think that's what communication was big. Once we learned, we don't use the jar method so much anymore because we communicate a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's really how we resolve our conflict. Yeah. The jar method.
You know what? I really want to lay down a healthy blueprint for our baby. And to teach her that, to love herself enough to not accept anything less than. I think that's important for me. Extremely important.
It hasn't sunk in that I'm a new parent yet. I guess when the baby get here, I don't know what that feels like. I'm just trying to get her here. But I think mostly I just want our it's a baby girl. I want our daughter to really know what unconditional love is. Teaching her to love herself first, to know what unconditional love is. And I want her to really see what a healthy relationship looks like. What it really looks like. Because it is smiles a lot of times, but it's a lot of hard work that goes behind it. And I want her to see what it really looks like. Yeah. You want me to take that question? I guess I started out in this art world, and kind of brought Jay along with me. I started doing some, I started to find my own voice. Really, I started college. He brought me here to San Jose, and I was away from my family, away from everything that I had grew up with, everything that I thought made me. So when we got here, I was really forced to find out who I am as a person. And the arts called me. The art was calling me, and we started with poetry. I started going to poetry events and stuff like that. He took me on a date to a poetry event, actually. And I seen artists going off, and it took me on a ride, and it gave me a voice. I think, I got on stage, and Jay seen something in it and gave him a voice. And I think that is, we were always really wanted to do stuff in the community. We really wanted people to hear what we had to say. We have things to say, and feel like we bring something to our community. And we felt like this was an outlet. This was a phenomenal outlet to get, to throw some drama into it, and all, a mix of everything to keep people appealed to what our message is. Yeah.
I like that.